Welcome to my views and news. Another video for you. First news story is from Eritrea, where reportedly Ethiopian National Defense Force convoys are being blocked from leaving Eritrea. ENDF convoys were on their way towards Volkai, towards Humera, but the convoys of buses carrying ENDF soldiers were stopped by Eritrean military. What happened there? Secondly, Afars are protesting. Afar say that international community, Ethiopian government, all are focused on delivery of and resumption of aid to Tigray. No one is talking about what is happening in Afar. There is a humanitarian crisis in Afar, but no one is serious about provision of aid to far off areas of Afar region. And thirdly, viewers, Nekemte town, a new story from this town. The town is in East Valaga, Oromia region. Around 3 days ago, OLA fighters claimed that they had entered Nekemte. They shared their pictures from Nekemte. They released more than 100 prisoners in Nekemte. What happened there? A counter-offensive came. Who is in control of Nekemte now? Details for you. Firstly, viewers, we know that in this third round of fighting between Tigray fighters and Ethiopian National Defense Force, Amhara forces, Eritrean army, Ethiopian National Defense Force entered Eritrea. ENDF entered Eritrea because TDF was advancing in North Volo. TDF was heading it was making gains in a southern direction from southern Tigray towards Volo. So EDF and ENDF decided to hit TDF at the back. That is why ENDF entered Eritrea, and from Eritrean soil, from the north, EDF and ENDF launched joint offensives towards Shire. They took control of Shiraro, then Shire, and then other towns along B30 highway. They moved towards Zilambasa too. So the offensive, joint offensive launched by EDF and ENDF from Eritrea on Tigray was a game changer. TDF was forced to retreat from near Voldia. TDF retreated from Volo, then TDF lost southern Tigray too. So that offensive from the north was a strategic decision which changed the battlefield picture. And for that move, ENDF entered Eritrea. Now, when peace agreement has been signed and Tigray wants withdrawal of Eritrean military from Tigray, ENDF is returning from Eritrea. ENDF and Amhara forces, Amhara militia's forces have been trained by Eritrea for months. We have seen Eritrean instructors training Amhara special forces, and Amhara militias, Fano militia was trained as well on Eritrean soil. Now, when ENDF and regional forces are returning to Ethiopia from Eritrea, they are being blocked. It is being reported mostly by some pro-Tigray news sources that in Tassene town of Eritrea, dozens of buses carrying Ethiopian National Defense Force soldiers were stopped by Eritrean military. Tassene is on Eritrea-Sudan border. From Tassene, two roads lead in southern and western direction. One road leads into Sudan and the other road leads into Ethiopia. Tassene is connected with Ethiopia with Humera. There is main road between Humera and Tassene. So from Tassene, ENDF convoys were on their way when they were stopped by Eritrean military. Overall details are sketchy. No details shared by the Eritrean government or Ethiopian government so far. But they are not denying the incident as well. Tigray-backed sources are claiming that ENDF is being held hostage by Eritrean army. Since the two governments are not denying the reports of ENDF soldiers being stopped in Eritrea, the rumors are gaining ground that Eritrean military is holding ENDF soldiers hostage. Rumors could be false as well, but the governments, especially Ethiopian government, should clarify what is happening in Eritrea, because Eritrea has thousands of Somalia soldiers training them, but not returning them. Somalia has been trying to get its soldiers back. Hassan Sheikh visited Eritrea in July, but so far the Somalia soldiers are still in Eritrea. Hassan Sheikh due to visit Eritrea in coming days, and rumors going around that Eritrea are demanding millions of US dollars from Somalia. Rumors, but more than 5,000 Somalia soldiers are still in Eritrea. Will all ENDF soldiers be allowed to return to Ethiopia, or will Eritrea demand some money from Ethiopia? Several questions. I think government should clarify the situation. Secondly, viewers, Afars are protesting. Afar region has suffered a lot, especially zone 2 of Afar, Abala, Birale, Dalol. Since the start of this conflict in November 2020, people of Afar bordering Tigray suffered. People of Amhara as well. Afar does not have elaborate infrastructure of roads. Zone 2 was inaccessible to 8 organizations, and still 8 organizations have no access to some areas in Zone 2 of Afar. People say the international community, Ethiopian government, all are focused on Tigray. Afars are being neglected. Protests are being held. A suspension of basic services in Tigray impacted Afar region as well, especially Zone 2 of Afar. Suspension of banking service, telecom service in Tigray had an impact on Zone 2 of Afar, which was without banking, literally you can say. Now when talks have been held, peace agreement has been signed, still some areas of Afar are inaccessible. People are suffering, they're protesting. Watch a clip showing some Afar protesting. Last, it was around 3 days ago, Oromo Liberation Army fighters entered Nekemte town of East Valaga. They released more than 100 prisoners from a prison in Nekemte. They said those were political prisoners. Government did not issue any statement. OLA fighters shared their pictures from Nekemte. OLA spokesperson confirmed OLA's entry in Nekemte. What is the latest? Well, the latest is that there were clashes inside Nekemte city. OLA fighters were never interested in holding the city. They have withdrawn from the city. Nekemte is under the control of government forces, but OLA fighters released prisoners, infrastructure damaged, government offices damaged, some say banks looted as well. Conflicting reports coming in, but government is confirming the control of Nekemte city. Some civilian casualties are also being reported. So Nekemte in East Valaga was attacked by OLA. OLA managed to remain inside Nekemte for some time, But I said 3 days ago that OLA was not going to hold the city. It wasn't OLA's plan to remain in the city. That is what happened. Roman Liberation Army has withdrawn from Nekemte. Nekemte is back under a government control, but that control is very fragile because whenever OLA fighters want, they attack towns, cities in East Valaga, West Valaga, Kalam, Valaga. Thank you for watching.